Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jacob Restituto, and I'm a musician from Northport, New York. And today we're reacting to and breaking down Olivia Rodrigo's Logical. Now, I've actually heard this track maybe a couple times, like 3 or 4 times. In fact, I did a whole album review. You can check that out on the channel. But I want to go back and just kind of break some things down, break some lyrics down, break some music down, kind of share my thoughts as somebody that makes my own music and has a bunch of songs out there on the creative process of it. So if you want to support the channel, best way to do so is checking out my own original music. You could text me, say what's up, or if you have any requests, I'll leave the links down below. Let's see what we got. This is Logical. Just kind of before we even get into this, now intently listening to the music. There's a track by, I think it's Hillsong Young and Free, and I think it's called Sinking Deep, if I recall correctly. That piano riff actually totally reminds me of it. Now that I hear that, it just kind of just clicked.
Master manipulator, God, you're
Cool alliteration.
so good at what you do. Come for me like a savior. I'd put myself through hell for you. Hear all the rumors lately that you always deny.
That was a cool, just lyrically, if we're going to talk about that really quick, that was cool how things rhymed up into those last 2 lines. The rumors lately and denied did not rhyme. But I think artists do that, especially as a songwriter. You do that intentionally when you want somebody to kind of like recognize something where it's like rhyme. Hey, it didn't rhyme. It stands out significantly more, so it's almost easier to make it to be like, hey, this line right here was important. So, you know, it stands out. We wanted to stand out.
I fell for you like water falls from the February sky. But now the
What a picture.
current's stronger. No, I couldn't get out if I tried, but you convinced me, baby. It was all in my mind. And now you got me thinking 2 + 2 = 5. And I'm the love of your life, 'cause if rain
Perfect
don't
rhyme.
pour and sun don't shine, and changing you is possible. No, love is never logical.
Let's talk about this really cool. First of all, context of the lyrics is really cool. Just talking about these things that don't make necessarily sense. But if they don't make sense, then that means that this thing that seems impossible is actually possible to change the person. Really cool. I love the lyric, love is never logical, because it's not. You know, it's an emotion, and oftentimes emotions are not necessarily actually, I think scientifically, right? You have the left side and the right side of the brain. The right side is the logical side, the left side is the emotional side, and they're totally different sectors. So, like, they don't necessarily always work together. And that's why, like, some people, like, logically know, including myself, when I struggle with anxiety, I logically knew that, like, these don't make sense, but the emotions were so real, right? Also, let's talk about the fact that right before the end of the chorus, it was kind of cool. You heard all these instruments kind of come in and like kind of fill up. You heard our bass come in. I think we heard some strings, and it really kind of like almost swelled into this, and then it pulled out right at the end. Like, love is never logical. If we listen back, let's take a listen. Strings are coming in. Pulls. Bass goes back to the piano.
Built a giant castle with walls so high I
Big
couldn't
reverb.
see the way it all unraveled, and all the things you did to me.
Cool melody change up.
You lied. Oh, and now you got me thinking.
Cool, pull that right there.
2 = 5, and I'm the love of your life, 'cause if rain don't pour and sun don't shine, and changing you is possible. I guess love is never logical. The sky is green, the grass is red. You mean all those words you said. I'm sure that girl is really your friend. Problems are all solvable, 'cause loving you is loving every argument you held
Wow.
over.
All right, there's a lot to talk about here. Let's talk instruments, and we'll talk lyrics. Instrumentally, there's some really cool instrumentations, especially if you listen to the context of the full album, because this is kind of like, I say, one of the more singer-songwriter albums. There's a ton of, like, you know, piano ballads and stuff, but like this kind of has, like, you know, acoustic guitars. Interesting though, that's one of the things I was listening to, is like this very, very high acoustic guitar. I'm curious if it was recorded that way or pitch shifted up there, but it was like a very high acoustic guitar, like really tinny sounding, which was kind of cool. Very rhythmic. We have that. We have obviously the piano. It sounds like some sort of sub synth bass going on. What I really like lyrically is how we turned it around, and when the chorus turned around, it was a repeat of the chorus. It was new lyrics, and I thought that was really cool, and that really drives it home because it's a familiar melody with new lyrics. And it's like, it sounds like you've heard it before, but now you're really listening to all the words because your brain doesn't have to think about the melody because it already knows the melody because it just heard it. So it's really thinking about the words. And then I really liked how she from the lyrics and melody of the chorus went straight into the bridge lyrics, which was like a really cool straight carry through if you listen to this. Right here, right to the bridge. See that? That was cool.
Brought up the girls you could have instead. Said I was too young, I was too soft.
Who does this remind you right here? I feel like you could definitely hear some influence of other musicians in here, which is fine. Like, it's not a knock. Like, I'm influenced by so many musicians. It's just like, it's kind of cool when you could see like, this. So for example, like I just listened to an album by Jeff Buckley, and I could hear in that album, I was like, oh my gosh, like so many artists after Jeff Buckley, like John Mayer or James Bay or Three Doors Down or Goo Goo Dolls, like they kind of sound like this, and it's like you could see the influence that he had on them. And this right here totally sounded, I'm going to rewind it a little bit, like a Taylor Swift bridge. It just, everything about it, it has Taylor Swift influence, which is cool.
'Cause loving you is loving every argument you held over my head. Brought up the girls you could have instead. Said I was too young, I was too soft. Can't take a joke, can't get you off. Why do we do this? I look so stupid thinking 2 plus 2 equals 4.
That was a classic Olivia Rodrigo, like, vocal swell right there. Listen to this.
So stupid thinking 2 plus 2
that was a vocal swell.
I'm the love of your life. 'Cause if rain don't pour and sun don't shine, then changing you is possible.
Vocal swells.
Love is never
a lot of push and pull with this song, sonically.
Logical.
It's one of my favorite parts.
Love is never logical. I know I'm half responsible, and that makes me feel horrible. Oh, logical.
So good.
Love is never logical. I know I could have stopped it all. God, why didn't I stop it all? Oh, logical.
This is the best part. This is so good, man.
Love is never logical. I know I'm half responsible.
Ooh, hold on a sec.
Logical. Love is never logical. I know I'm half responsible, and that makes me feel.
The harmonies are so tight. I actually thought there might have been a vocoder in there. There's a lot of harmonies that you don't necessarily like. You really have to listen. There's a lot of harmonies in here. I love this section just because it's so delicate. You go from pretty big sound, but her voice like really fits this delicate tone right here. Really nice piano chords. I like that there's less reverb here. In the beginning of the song, there's a lot of reverb, and it's cool, but I think that it kind of puts it in a different world, where sometimes I think the less reverb can actually put you in their world, like you're in the room with them, if that makes sense. And I'd be curious if they would, like, if she did another version, like what it would sound like if they pulled back the reverb in the verses. But I really like this, like, layered vocal, intimate piano. Like, it's really, really nice. The vibrato in her voice. Swells in the right ear.
I know I could have stopped it all. God, why didn't I stop it all?
That section is, when I heard that section originally, I was like, this is crazy. So I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what you'd like to see in the comments below, or shoot me a text. My name is Jacob Restituto. Best way to support this channel is checking out my own original music, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless and peace out.